Recently, I made a video where I was sampling Hiatus Coyote. It went a little bit something like this. And just the other day, I was just listening to that project on Ableton. I had the stems up. As I was listening to it, I decided to drop one of my favorite plugins that's manufactured by Apple. It's just a regular audio unit that lets you manipulate the pitch without manipulating the BPM. It's kind of cool, and I'm surprised it's free. But I was using it, and I kind of just created a whole new beat with the same sample, with the same drum sounds. And I don't know, I never really made a video on remixing your own beats or resampling samples that you flipped before. But yeah, let me show you guys the beat. So you remember how it sounded originally, and now after playing around, this is what I got. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much the beat. It's not really anything crazy. I didn't really change it up too much, but I feel like, have you guys ever heard a song, maybe something like DMT by Flying Lotus and Thundercat? They have one section of the song, it's the beginning. Then they have a whole nother song, and it's like similar beat, same chords, but different in a way. Well, that's pretty much what I was going for with this beat, and I wanted to show you guys how I got from this to this. And how you can make it even better and add to it just to have that remix feel that you might want to play, after your original beat. So for example, I might want to play that original one first, and then after a minute, change it up a little bit, let this play for like the last 30 seconds. And then it's like kind of like two beats in one, you feel me? So let me show you guys how I got this. Here's the beat right here. All I did was deleted a lot of the vocals that I was using in the last beat. I didn't really want to reuse them, so I just left the drums and the sample. And this is me talking right here. So after I decluttered the beat, I lowered the BPM because I wanted to give it a feel like it was slowed down and just a little bit more groovy, a little bit more steezy, you feel me? So I did that, and I believe I lowered the pitch on Serato's sample. I'm not too sure. I don't remember what the original pitch was, but I did that. And yeah, so here's the drums. These are the original drums. And then these are the drums that I made for the change up. So how did I get that? Basically, I went off the blueprint from the original drums, and I added to it and subtracted from it in some spots. So it went a little bit something like this. I know that I don't want these kick drums right there anymore. And I want, let's say, a little snare roll right there. So I get my notes placed in, and I start tinkering with them. Just slowly listening to what sounds better and what belongs where and where I can move things. What are all my possible options? I did change up the snares a little bit. I added some extra snares right here towards the end and a little snare roll right here. And then I added a bunch of ghost notes for the kick drum. The ghost notes and the amount of kick drums is what really makes the beat sound different, because it just has a whole completely different groove. And also, since the BPM is so low at 78, I'm allowed to have all these extra kick drums playing in between, these little spaces without it sounding too bad. But yeah, that's pretty much all I did for the drums. After that, I went to the sample and I added 2 extra notes, I guess you could say, with the sample. So it originally sounded like this. And I feel like that was cool, but I feel like it was it would have happened too frequently, and that pattern would have been a little bit too repetitive. So basically what I was going for was I was going to do this, make this about 8 bars, and then duplicate it, and then copy it, copy, Command C, go to where I want to paste it, and then press Command V. And now drag these down there. And basically this is what I ended up going for. That same pattern repeats 3 times. And then it goes up. That's pretty much how I changed the beat up, and that's how I got this little change up. Now, what if I want to add to this? I can do something like add some reverb to it to just give it a retro, nostalgic feel. So something like this. So I could have put a reverb and maxed out the dry/wet and lowered the decay all the way to 200 milliseconds and got a sound similar to this. You could tell just how offbeat the sample alone is with the actual beat. Kind of crazy. But I could have did something like that and then added some delay to it. So sent it to a different channel, delay channel right there. And I have it on 2 and 2 synced up with dry wet maxed out. And this is how the filter looks. So it'll give it a sound like this. And all right, I'm getting satisfied with that. Now let's go ahead and add the drums back. And now let's change them a little bit and make them sound a little bit better to fit the vibe now. Let's go ahead and raise the pitch. And then we could lower these ride cymbals. And let's go ahead and play around with the pitch of the drums. Or actually, let's go ahead and drop on the audio unit by Apple that allows you to manipulate the pitch. If you have an Apple, by the way, or a MacBook, you should have access to these audio units. And they have things like bypass, delays, filters, graphic EQs, and pitch manipulation. So I'm going to go ahead and grab AU new pitch. And now I have a little bit delay in my system. So whenever I press a note on my keyboard or on my computer, it's going to be delayed a little bit, but I don't mind it too much because the beat's already done. I'm not going to be playing or adding any bass lines or anything like that. So I'm just going to have to do with it. So now I can go ahead and play the beat. So as you can see, I can change the pitch with this bar. So if I want it to be higher, move it up. If I want it to be low, move it down. So let's just listen to it while it's playing and find a happy spot. Let's play with the BPM too. Hey, that was hard. Honestly, I might have to save this and have a third version, but that's the benefit to this, because if you want to have that third version or fourth version where it sounds different but still similar to the original version, that's cool, because say if you wanted to promote a single and you want to post on Instagram, but you didn't want it to be the exact same version of the single, or maybe you want to post a third different version on YouTube and have a different version on Instagram, and then you have the complete version on your Spotify and SoundCloud. So that's the benefit to this, because it gives you options, you feel me? And you get to get the most out of this sample. You know, you get to actually use every bit of it and make sure that you're actually getting its full use, you know, because sometimes it can be hard to find samples and it'd be days where you just can't find no heat. So it's good to get the most use out of your samples. If you guys are interested in supporting the channel and becoming a member of the channel, go ahead and press the join button. I want to give a big shout out to the two supporters that I have so far, that being Bati and Derek V. So thank you to you guys. I appreciate you guys. And yeah, thank you. With all that being said, I hope you guys have a good day. Peace out.